I want to talk about what it really means to be 100 steps ahead of other people. We often hear about staying ahead, but I'm not just talking about getting a little lead on the competition. I'm talking about being so far ahead in your vision, your drive, and your determination that others can't help but look at you with awe. It's about living a life where you're constantly evolving, growing, and stepping into the greatness you were meant for. But let's be real. Being 100 steps ahead doesn't come from luck. It doesn't come from sitting back and hoping life hands you the things you want. No, it comes from hard work, from sacrifice, and most importantly, from having the mindset of someone who is never satisfied with staying in the same place. Step 1. Vision. The first step to being 100 steps ahead is having a vision. I'm talking about a vision so clear, so powerful, that it fuels you every single day. While other people are drifting through life, waiting for opportunities to come to them, you're out there creating your own opportunities. You see, the people who are ahead don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the perfect moment. They have the ability to see a future that others can't even imagine, and they work every day to make it a reality. When you have that vision, that burning desire to achieve something greater, you're no longer looking for validation from others. You're no longer asking for permission to dream big. You just go for it. That's what being 100 steps ahead means. It's having the clarity and courage to go after your dreams while others are still debating whether they should start. Step 2. Discipline. But a vision without action is just a fantasy. The second step to being ahead of the pack is discipline. While others are sleeping, scrolling through social media, or waiting for motivation to strike, you're putting in the work. You're doing the hard things, the uncomfortable things, the things that most people avoid because they're too painful or too inconvenient. Discipline isn't glamorous. There are no trophies for waking up at 5 a.m. to work on your goals, no instant gratification for saying no to distractions. But discipline is the difference between those who talk about success and those who actually achieve it. The truth is, success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do consistently. Every single day. People will call you obsessed. They'll tell you to slow down, to take it easy, but that's the very reason they'll never be ahead of you. They're comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of growth. Being 100 steps ahead means being willing to do what others won't, so you can live a life that others can only dream of. Step 3. Resilience. The third step is resilience. The road to success is full of setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. But here's the thing. The people who are 100 steps ahead don't see failure as the end. They see it as feedback. They use every setback as an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more determined. When you're 100 steps ahead, you don't crumble under pressure, you thrive in it. While others give up at the first sign of difficulty, you keep going. You understand that every obstacle is just another chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more. You keep pushing forward, even when the world tells you it's impossible. Why? Because you know deep down that you're not here to live an ordinary life. You're here to break limits, defy odds, and set a new standard of what's possible. Step 4. Focus on your own path. Here's another truth. Being 100 steps ahead means you don't waste time comparing yourself to others. You're not looking sideways to see what other people are doing. You're laser-focused on your own path, your own journey. While others are distracted by what everyone else is achieving, you're staying true to your course, knowing that your time will come. People will try to pull you off track. They'll try to distract you, make you question your path, make you doubt whether you're doing the right thing. But when you're 100 steps ahead, you have tunnel vision. You know that your journey is unique to you, and no one else's opinion can determine your success. Your focus is your superpower, and it's what will set you apart. Step 5. Relentless growth. Lastly, being 100 steps ahead means you're relentless in your pursuit of growth. You're not satisfied with just being good. You want to be great, and then you want to be even better. You understand that there is always more to learn, always room to grow, always another level to reach. Want to unlock the secrets to success? Imagine if you could not only excel in business, but in every area of your life. That's exactly what Stephen R. Covey's iconic 1989 book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, aims to do. With over 25 million copies sold worldwide, this self-help classic is still helping people become more effective by changing how they see the world. But here's the catch. Covey doesn't just hand you a list of rules to follow. Instead, he guides you to transform your character and redefine what success truly means to you. Think about it. Success isn't a one-size-fits-all formula. What if the key to unlocking your full potential was rooted in timeless, universal values? These values can shape the habits you build, habits that work in any situation you face, whether it's at work, home, or even in your personal growth. The book's not about quick fixes or shortcuts. It's about lasting change, shifting your mindset so that your actions, decisions, and responses flow naturally from who you are deep down. Imagine reacting to every challenge with clarity and purpose because you've rewired your thought process. Sounds life-changing, right? Covey believes it starts with how you see the world, which directly impacts what you do. Curious about what habits could transform your life? Let's dive into how this book can help you shape not just your success, but your entire perspective. Picture this. You're wandering through a brand new city, completely lost. The streets are unfamiliar, the signs are in a language you don't understand, and your phone is dead. How do you react? For some, this scenario would trigger stress, anxiety, and frustration. They'd view it as a total disaster, a colossal waste of time. They'd be stuck in a negative mindset, seeing only obstacles and annoyances. But imagine someone else, faced with the exact same situation. Instead of panicking, they feel a rush of excitement, a sense of adventure bubbling up inside them. They see the experience as a chance to explore, an opportunity to stumble upon something amazing that they wouldn't have discovered otherwise. What causes this massive difference in reactions? According to Stephen Covey, it all boils down to something he calls a paradigm, the lens through which you view the world. Your paradigm dictates how you interpret everything that happens to you, and by extension, how you react. It shapes whether you see life as full of possibilities or as a series of obstacles holding you back. And here's the kicker. Covey believes that most people walk around with limiting, negative paradigms, thinking that their circumstances control them rather than the other way around. In his legendary book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Covey takes aim at this very issue. He argues that the key to not just success, but true effectiveness, lies in shifting this paradigm. Imagine flipping that mental switch. What if every challenge you faced, instead of being a roadblock, was a stepping stone? What if every frustration was really a disguised opportunity for growth? Covey's 7 habits are crafted to help you make exactly that shift. This isn't about following some cookie-cutter rules to magically change your life overnight. No, Covey is playing the long game here. His system is all about deep, lasting transformation, changing your core character so that you don't just act differently. You think differently. You start seeing the world from a fresh, more positive perspective, and everything else. Your actions, your reactions, your decisions begins to fall into place naturally. At first glance, Covey's 7 habits might seem like mysterious, even cryptic pieces of wisdom. But don't be fooled. Beneath these seemingly complex names lies a powerful practical roadmap for not just improving your business success, but reshaping your entire life. These habits don't just scratch the surface. They get to the heart of who you are, helping you become the kind of person who thrives in any situation, whether it's navigating a new city or navigating the complexities of your personal and professional world. Imagine a life where frustration and overwhelm are replaced with confidence, clarity, and purpose. Imagine every setback turning into an opportunity for growth, and every decision aligning with your deepest values. Covey's habits are not quick fixes or band-aid solutions. They're transformative tools designed to reshape your mindset and your character so thoroughly that you naturally start to see challenges not as barriers, but as invitations to evolve. Ready to dig deeper into what these habits can do for you? Buckle up. You're about to embark on a journey that could completely redefine how you see the world and, more importantly, how you live in it. What do these concepts even mean? Let's break them down, and trust me, you're going to want to keep reading to find out. 1. Be proactive. Picture this. Your car won't start, your boss is breathing down your neck, and to top it all off, it's raining cats and dogs. Most people would let all these things ruin their day, snapping at anyone who crosses their path. But Covey says, hold up. You don't have to be that person who lets life push you around. Instead, he introduces the idea of being proactive. What does that mean? It's simple yet powerful. You take full responsibility for how you react to things. Bad weather, missed bus, annoying coworker. These are all outside your control. But what's within your control is how you respond. Being proactive means focusing your energy on the things you can change, like your mindset, your actions, and your responses, instead of wasting it on the things you can't control. Covey calls this your circle of influence. The more you focus on what's inside your circle, the more effective you become. Instead of blaming the world for your problems, you start asking, what can I do about this? 2. Begin with the end in mind. Imagine building a house without any blueprints. You just start laying bricks, not really knowing where you're headed. Sounds chaotic, right? That's because it is. Covey explains that in everything we do, we actually do it twice. First in our minds, and then in reality. So, if you don't have a clear picture of what success looks like, you're probably going to end up with a result you don't want. This is where the concept of beginning with the end in mind comes in. Before you do anything, whether it's a big life decision or even a small project at work, take a step back. Visualize your ultimate goal. What's the outcome you truly desire? Then, and only then, should you dive in. Covey points out that too many people are super efficient. They get a ton of things done in record time. But they're not effective because they're heading in the wrong direction. The message? It's not just about being busy. It's about being busy doing the right things that lead you to where you truly want to go. 3. Put first things first. Prioritization is one of the most essential life skills, but let's face it, it's also one of the hardest. That's where Covey's third habit swoops in to save the day. In his brilliant system, he breaks down tasks into 4 categories or quadrants based on their urgency and importance. Most of us run around like headless chickens, dealing with quadrant 1 tasks, things that are both urgent and important, because we think they're the most pressing. But Covey argues that truly effective people focus on quadrant 2, the tasks that are important but not immediately urgent. These are the things that have a long-term impact, like planning, building relationships, and personal development. By focusing on these, you're proactively working toward your larger goals, which means fewer things will fall into quadrant 1 later. In other words, putting first things first helps you stay ahead of the curve, not just react to the chaos around you. 4. Think win-win. Ever met someone who treats every interaction as a competition? It's always me versus you, and they'll do anything to come out on top, even if it means you lose. Covey says that mindset is a recipe for disaster. Instead, he urges us to think win-win, a revolutionary idea that there's enough success to go around. And if you work toward a solution where both parties benefit, everyone ends up winning. Life isn't a zero-sum game. When you go into situations thinking about how both you and the other person can come out better, you build trust and long-term relationships that are way more valuable than short-term wins. Covey even compares relationships to emotional bank accounts. Every time you show respect, listen, or work toward a win-win outcome, you're making a deposit. Every time you fight for a win-lose outcome or break a promise, you're making a withdrawal. The goal: keep making deposits, build trust, and watch your relationships flourish. 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. If you're anything like most people, you listen just enough to prepare your response. You're not really hearing the other person. You're just waiting for your turn to talk. Covey argues that this is one of the biggest communication mistakes we make. Instead of rushing to give advice or voice our own opinions, we should take a step back and seek first to understand. Imagine this. You're in a conversation, and instead of interrupting or thinking about your response, you genuinely focus on understanding the other person's perspective. You pay attention not just to their words, but their body language, their tone of voice, and their emotions. When people feel truly understood, they're much more likely to trust you and be open to your perspective. Only then, Covey says, should you seek to be understood. This approach transforms communication and can build unbreakable bonds of trust. 6. Synergize. You've probably heard the saying, 2 heads are better than 1. Well, Covey takes that concept to a whole new level with synergy. When you bring people together with different strengths, perspectives, and ideas, the result is often way more powerful than what any one person could achieve alone. In synergy, 1 plus 1 doesn't just equal 2. It equals 3, 4, or even 5. But it's not just about slapping people together and hoping for magic. Covey emphasizes the importance of trust and mutual understanding in creating synergy. It's about leveraging each other's strengths, filling in gaps, and combining your efforts to produce something truly extraordinary. Think of it like building a puzzle. Each piece on its own doesn't amount to much, but together, they form a beautiful picture. When you truly embrace synergy, you unlock the full potential of collaboration, whether in your personal relationships, work, or community. These aren't just habits. They're life-altering principles designed to flip your mindset, upgrade your effectiveness, and transform how you navigate the world. If you start applying them, you'll go from feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges to thriving in every aspect of it. So, ready to dive in and start living more effectively? Let's go. To become strong, renew the spirit. In the short story, The Turn of the Tide, Arthur Gordon shares a powerful lesson about the importance of spiritual renewal. Gordon, once full of life and enthusiasm, found himself in a slump, feeling disconnected, uninspired, and worn down by the world. His spark had all but dimmed, and each day seemed worse than the one before. But when he sought medical help, the doctor didn't prescribe pills or treatments. Instead, the advice was profoundly simple and unconventional. The doctor instructed Gordon to spend an entire day in the place where he had been happiest as a child. No distractions, no communication with others, just pure, undisturbed solitude. The aim was to reconnect with something deeper, to rediscover a sense of peace and purpose. Along with this, the doctor handed Gordon 4 sealed prescriptions to be opened at specific times throughout the day: 9 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. That next morning, Gordon found himself on the beach, his childhood haven. The first prescription, opened at 9 a.m., held just 2 simple words: listen carefully. It sounded absurd. Listen to the waves crashing for hours. What could that possibly achieve? But as Gordon reluctantly obeyed, something remarkable happened. The longer he listened, the more he started to hear, not just the loud, obvious sounds of the surf, but subtler noises. The wind, the whisper of the sand, the distant calls of birds. And slowly, memories and lessons from his past started to surface, things the sea had taught him as a child. He remembered the importance of patience, the delicate balance of nature, and how everything in life is interconnected. More importantly, he began to feel a profound sense of peace wash over him. By tuning out the noise of the world and simply listening to nature, Gordon started to renew his spirit. Covey draws on stories like this to emphasize the 7th habit: sharpen the saw. It's about taking time to rejuvenate and recharge, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. When life becomes overwhelming or stagnant, it's often a sign that we've been pushing too hard without taking the time to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. Like Gordon's experience on the beach, renewing the spirit often means stepping away from the distractions of everyday life and finding peace in the simplest of things. Whether it's listening to the waves, taking a walk in the woods, or meditating in silence, it's in these moments of stillness that we can rediscover our strength and clarity. Just as the doctor's advice helped Gordon turn the tide on his discontent, so too can you reignite your sense of purpose by making time for spiritual renewal. It's about finding that place, whether physical or mental, where you feel at peace, and taking the time to truly listen, reflect, and renew. Only then can you return to life's challenges with fresh energy, focus, and strength.